And the bad news is Tommy Hench has called out Paul the Menace Venice. Yes, that's right, Tommy the Judge Hench. We've covered him a little bit lately because of his back and forths with Brett May. And why is this bad news? Now, I'll tell you why. Because before I started making my own YouTube videos, and I was just a fight fan, obviously involved in bare knuckle and involved in unlicensed boxing, Tommy Hench and Paul Venis were two of my favourites that I used to watch and used to follow on YouTube and on Instagram and everything. So it's a shame. I used to really like them both. I was fans of them both. Used to watch all the podcasts and all that, and thought they both had really good and interesting messages. So to see them both, one of them's got to win and one of them's got to lose, and obviously it's a fight that I want to see. But now I've actually got to know them both a little bit through since I started making videos and started getting involved more heavily in the bare knuckle scene, especially. Paul actually invited us up for some sparring and stuff, and I've spoke to Tommy a lot quite recently, and it's a shame that one of them's got to lose, and I'm going to try very hard not to upset anyone with this video, but I'm going to go through a couple of a little bit about both of them, and I'm going to tell you what I think would happen in the fight. So Tommy Hench came out this morning because they had a fight. This is actually about the time when I started following Tommy Hench. Just after he'd fought Tom Little on Wicked and Bad. I'd seen a couple of his bits before Wicked and Bad because we actually had a fighter out of our gym who fought on that same show. He fought Aggie, I believe, on the Crystal Palace show. So, and his name was Blackrock, Terrell. So, Paul Venis was very, very impressed by Tommy's performance against Tom Little, which is who he fought on that event. He lost over 8 rounds on that Wicked and Bad event, but he had previously beat him in a 3 round on a Sunday Smoke. Both very good fights. Go back and watch them. So they had a fight. They were basically trying to arrange a fight then, and I don't know what had happened or why it didn't happen at the time, but obviously Venice went off to do bare knuckle, and then Tommy Fury, I've got him. Hench went off and started doing a bit more influence of boxing and had a few more boxing matches and stuff. So Tommy Hench, the hardest man in the West Midlands, because he's got the West Midlands heavyweight championship, the CSL belt that you see in the picture, and he also holds the knives down, gloves up, the Zulu Baz belt, where Zulu Baz is a figure that was part of the Birmingham City football. Well, get myself kicked in for saying the wrong thing. I think it's the Birmingham City football firm, the Zulus. I'm not too clued up on the football firms, but yeah, that's him anyway. So some of the notable names: Tommy Hench. He's fought Dyson twice. Obviously, he got stopped in the first fight. We've all seen it. He got clipped. Come back with a really, really good performance, and in that first fight, he hadn't trained really, and he took it as a bit of fun, and he just got clipped in. But he's come back and really, really did a proper job on Luke Dyson in the second fight, and showed that he really can box and how good he actually is. He's fought Tom Little twice, beat him once, beat him over the rounds in the second one. Had a good performance though, looked strong, had him hurt a couple of times, looked very, very durable in that fight. He fought Bad Boy Beeman, who can box, is a good heavyweight. He beat him for a belt. That might have been the CSL belt, actually. I might be wrong, but yeah. Fought Ty Mitchell that we saw recently. He's fought Idris Virgo. He beat Idris Virgo. Many, many others, I'm sure. These are just ones that were on the top of my head that I've written down on the list. Then on to Paul Venis. Paul Venis, he was a K1 legend. 32 wins out of 32 fights with 31 knockouts. So only had one that went the distance. He was a British title winner in K1, a world title winner in K1, and this is a real high standard of kickboxing. He's then gone on more recently to have a win on Street Beefs, first round knockout, have a win on the BKFC. It was a knockout, can't remember if it was in the first and second round. That was against the Bulgarian fella. He's fought a couple of times recently. His name always escapes me. And he's boxing August the 13th against Kyle Howarth, who's a very decent, very strong, big, heavyweight, unlicensed fighter. So Paul will probably come through that should come through that with a win, but it will be quite a hard fight as he's been out the ring for 18 months and coming back from a shoulder injury. So it's a bit of a test. Someone who's come in to win and is very durable and strong. So yeah, Tommy Hench has offered Paul Venis. It was around that August the 13th date. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but Venice has said, look, I'm boxing on this date. It's like 2 days after it was offered, or 2 days before or something. So that's not going to happen. Then I'm going on holiday to celebrate families' birthdays. But I accept. Anytime after that, let's do it. Fight accepted. Venice did say that he thinks he's levels above Tommy Hench, and he wants Tommy Hench to get paid very handsomely. He'll fight in bare knuckle or boxing. He wants Tommy Hench to get paid very handsomely because he thinks it will be a one-round job for him. He thinks he's much, much better, basically. Tommy Hench is game as they come, and I'm sure he's very, very up for a scrap. So what do I think would happen in the fight? So I do think, if you look at boxing technique, I do think Paul is better. I really, really do. How much better? I don't know, but technique-wise, I do think he probably is, because Tommy Hench has been known to be wild at times. He's a scrapper. He's a very, very good fighter, a strong fighter. But I have said, and I said it in a recent video, that I think Tommy Hench is very underrated in his actual boxing ability. I think he's a lot better than people actually give him credit for when he wants to box and be responsible, when he's big and strong and at his correct weight and he's trained. I think he is a lot better. So I don't think he would be a one-round job for Paul at all. I think he's got. I do think Paul will win. I think Paul would nick it. I don't know if he'd knock him out, because we've seen Tommy Hench can be very, very durable and he knows how to defend himself. I think it'd be a very good fight, and I think Hench would give Paul a very good fight. But I do think Paul would probably nick it. But it could be, I could be wrong. It could go either way. As I said, I like them both. I'm really, really interested to see it, but I just think Paul probably will be technically a little bit better. But like I said, Hench is a lot better than people do give him credit for. And, it wouldn't be a massive surprise if he just showed up and put on a really, really good performance and shocked everyone, because, he does swing in these unorthodox ways, and it can at times be very, very hard to defend against. I think we've seen him be so durable against Tom Little when he's come and set up to defend himself correctly and this and that in the second fight. So he does know his way around the ring, and he knows what he's doing. Just the same with Beeman. Now, Beeman's a big puncher, and there were times when Hench sat off on the ropes, Philly shelled up, rolled punches off the shoulder, tucked up nice. He can definitely box. A lot better than people give him credit for. But I just think with the K1 experience especially, I think there's just so many fights and so much more training and so much more sparring that Venice has done, especially over the last couple of months, because he looks like he's got very, very sharp in the time where he's been out the ring. Very, very good, because he's been training boxing non-stop and sparring at a very, very high level with the likes of Pick Jardine and John Blank and that in his gym. Yeah, I just think, I hate to say it, but I don't like to say I like them both, but I think Paul edges it, to be honest. But Hench could come up and surprise us all. I think if it's bare knuckle, it's anyone's fight, because with them wild swings that Hench does, he's got a lot of power. He's a big, strong guy, and if he clips Venice, anything could happen. But the same goes the other way. So thanks for watching, boys. Let me know what you think. Who do you think wins? Do you think it's going to happen? Adios, la boche.